Shalom, thank you all for joining us for Children of Light Bible Study. We're going to begin with prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the Children of Light Bible Study. We thank you for the children that they can start their relationship with you at a very young age. They can grow and turn into strong soldiers for you, Yeshaya. We thank you for that opportunity and that they have a learnable spirit, a teachable spirit. Amen.
We're going to get started with the Lord's Prayer and what? In what?
Hebrew.
Oh, okay. Who wants to start us off? Annalisa, say your name first.
Abinawa Shabbat Shalom Kodash Haya Shakha Ahaya Mawa Waska Laba'a Ratazalaka Haya Hashalan Rataza Kuwa Haya Vashamaya Netaninawa Laham Kayawa Wasalak Nawa Hawawaf Nawa Hasalak Nawa Wawa'a Lebayan Nawa Banasayawan Abba Hawashai Nawa Man Raikaya Laka Hamawakwa Waha'ala Wahasapara Wahawamyam Amma.
All right, so before we go forward, throughout the week, I'm sure you guys were talking louder than that, right? When y'all were asking your parents for something, playing with toys, watching whatever, right? You guys were loud, right?
Yes.
All right, well, this is for Yeshaya. This is for our King, our Savior. All right, this is for Ahaya. Can we talk louder?
Yes.
Everyone, not just 2 people, not 3 people, everyone.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and do the Lord's Prayer in English. All right, let's make up for what just happened.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. But lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Good job. All right, who knows what's next? Yes? The Credo.
Read.
I'll let you lead us. Go ahead and lead us. Where's the Credo found?
Leviticus chapter 6, verse 4.
All right. Go ahead now. Go ahead and lead us.
Hero Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Shemaya Shirahaya, Adonai Ahaya. Hero Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Shemaya Shirahaya, Adonai Ahaya. Hero Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
All right. Next we have the 10 Commandments, which are next time raise your hand, please. Okay. Please, but yes. Exodus chapter 20. All right. What's the first commandment?
Thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
The second commandment?
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images.
The third commandment?
Thou shalt not take the Lord.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God's name in vain.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Okay. What's the fourth commandment?
The Sabbath day to keep it holy.
What's the fifth commandment?
Honor thy father and thy mother.
May be long upon the land. All right. What's the sixth commandment?
Thou shalt not kill.
All right. What's the seventh commandment?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
What's the eighth commandment?
Thou shalt not steal.
What's the ninth commandment?
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
And what's the 10th commandment?
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
All right. All right.
And things.
All right. Next we have what? Not the Hebrew alphabet. Not the numbers. We give you hint. Love, joy. And what book, chapter, and verse can we find that?
Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Against such there is no law.
Good job. All right. Now we have the Hebrew alphabet. All right. Wait. Let's go ahead and say it. Go ahead. All right. Good job. All right. Next we have our numbers. In ancient Hebrew from 1 to 20. And then we have something else afterwards. Maybe, maybe not.
You add more numbers?
You'll just have to see. You can see. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, that. All right. Let's go ahead and begin. 1.
One, Akkad. 2, Shania. 3, Shalata. 4, Araba Iha. 5, Kamasha. 6, Sasha. 7, Shabaiha. 8, Shamana. 9, Asaiha. 10, Ashar. 11, Akkad Ashar. 12, Shania Ashar. 13, Shalata Ashar. 14, Araba Iha Ashar. 15, Kamasha Ashar. 16, Shasha Ashar. 17, Shabai Ashar. 18, Shemaiah Ashar. 19, Shashai Ashar. 20, Asharayam.
All right. Yeah, so now we have some numbers. 21 to 30.
Yay!
All right. So the numbers in ancient. All right. So first we have 21, and that's Asharayam Akkad.
Asharayam Akkad.
22,
22.
Asharayam Shanayam.
Asharayam Shanayam.
23,
23.
Asharayam Shalasha.
Asharayam Salasha.
24,
24.
Asharayam
Asharayam
Arabaiha.
Arabaiha.
25,
25.
Asharayam Kamasha.
Asharayam Kamasha.
Okay, so I'll say them and you guys can repeat after me, okay? 26,
26.
Asharayam Shasha.
Asharayam Shasha.
27,
27.
Asharayam Shabaiha.
Asharayam Shabaiha.
28,
28.
Asharayam Shamawana.
Asharayam Shamawana.
29,
29.
Asharayam Dashaiha.
Asharayam Shaiha.
30,
30.
Shalashayam. Shalashayam.
Shashayam.
Shalashayam. Sorry, Shalashayam. Sorry.
Shashayam.
Added a lot. So these are numbers we're going to learn over the next couple of weeks. Numbers 21 to 30.
Yay!
Yay! All right. And now we have our colors.
Yay!
see if you guys remember the other colors. Who can tell me what red is in ancient Hebrew?
Iowa.
Who can tell me what blue is? Who
Kawa.
can tell me what orange is?
Kasawa.
Who can tell me what yellow is?
Zawa.
What was that, yellow?
Yes, or
The green.
Rara.
All right, you guys ready to see what colors we have now?
no, that was all of them.
Wow. All right, so your Dawada Mana, she's gonna say it first, and then you guys repeat after her, okay? Yes, but let's focus, okay?
All right, so we have white.
I don't see nothing there. Yes, you do. It's right there. What
It's
you
right
mean?
here.
That's white.
Oh.
You can't wipe a white on the whiteboard.
All right, white.
Levant.
Lavan.
Like
Pink.
white crayon.
Rawawad. Gray. Apawar. Brown. Kawam. Beige. Baz. Black. Shikawar. White. Lavan. Pink. Rawawad. Gray. Apawar. Brown. Kawam. Beige. Baz. Black. Shikawar.
Why you look at me?
Yep, so we're gonna. Yeah.
So over the next few weeks, we're gonna learn all of these. And then we'll be able to say them without needing to look at the board.
All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the books of the Bible before we get the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? All right. Let me hear you guys not keep that same energy. All right. Nice and loud. The books of the Bible. Genesis.
Job, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua,
Judges.
Judges, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, Psalms, Proverbs, Songs of Solomon.
Whoa.
Let's start again. We skip some stuff, okay? All right. So Genesis. Come on. Genesis, Exodus. I'm sorry. Genesis, Job,
Genesis, Job,
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Psalms, Proverbs, Song of Solomon,
Ecclesiastes, 1 and 2 Kings, Ruth, Joel, Jonah, Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, Micah, Nahum, Zephaniah, Habakkuk, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Daniel, Ezekiel, Ezra chapter 1 to 6, Obadiah, Haggai, Zechariah, Ezra chapter 7 to 10, Esther, Nehemiah, Malachi.
All right.
A little rough.
Yeah, very. Yeah. Everyone, you gotta talk loud, okay? All right, now we're gonna do the 12 tribes of Israel. We're gonna say it in English. You guys are gonna tell us what's in ancient Hebrew, okay?
Yes!
So first off, we have Reuben.
Ra'arabah.
I want to hear everybody all together. Reuben.
Ra'arabah.
Simeon.
Ra'arabah.
Levi.
Loah.
Judah.
Yehuda.
Issachar.
Issachar.
Gad.
Gad.
No, you're. Oh. Asher.
Asher.
Naphtali.
Naphtali.
The Papala.
Manasseh.
Manasseh.
Ephraim,
Haraya.
and Benjamin.
Benjamin.
All right, so everyone go ahead and turn to 2 Kings.
No, don't.
All right, raise your hand once you guys get there. You need to keep turning. All right, everyone there?
Yep. Yes.
All right. The water. That means thank you. So 2 Kings, the intro is kind of like with 1 Kings. The author is unknown, but we believe it may be Jeremiah, who's a prophet. This one was written between 640 to 550 BC, and it's also called the 4th book of Kings. All right. So now we're gonna. Yes. They continue on. They're telling the history of the kings. So they're not the exact same, but they continue on with the king, our history of the kings who ruled over Judah and who ruled over Israel.
I believe the book was so long that they had to break it up into 4 different books.
Because remember, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel are the first and second book of Kings, and then 1 Kings is the 3rd book of Kings, and now 2 Kings is the 4th book of Kings. All right. So now we're going to jump right into it. We learned about 2 prophets last week, Elijah and Elisha. And we saw what Elijah, he did what? Who remembers?
What did he call down?
It's really hot.
Say it louder.
Fire.
Yes. He called down fire from heaven. No, not the lake of fire. Fire from heaven. Lake. So now with Elisha, we're going to see some things there. We're going to quickly summarize it for you guys, okay? So in chapter 2, Elijah, before we get to Elijah actually divided the Jordan River. Do we know anybody else who divided rivers or a sea?
Elijah.
Someone else in Exodus.
Moses.
Mm-hmm.
What sea did he part?
The Red Sea.
The Red Sea. Yep, good. All right. So Elijah, a quick fun fact about him, Yeshua took him up in a whirlwind of fire. Does that sound amazing?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was pretty amazing. I don't think it was like the lake of fire.
He didn't get burned.
Yeah.
He didn't get burned.
And there were chariots. A chariot is, you ever see those movies with people and they're have like a horse in front, not a carriage, they have a horse in the front and then maybe a person standing behind and like a little
Cart.
yeah, cart. That's like a chariot.
You know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah. So the human hold on to the
Yeah.
onto the rope and the rope. And then the horse ride where the horse will go.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah. So he was taken by Yeshua up in a whirlwind, and some people saw it, and it's pretty cool. Yes.
What's a whirlwind?
So think of, have you seen a tornado before?
Yes. No.
Think of a tornado with fire. Oh, you haven't? Tornado, it goes like in a circle.
Fire tornado?
Yeah.
I know you took it.
You know what I'm talking
Is
about?
that a
Good.
tornado?
Elijah was inside of that world. He didn't die or anything.
The fire he was in the
He was inside of it.
tornado.
But we're calling it a whirlwind, not a tornado. I was just using a tornado to kind of show you guys possibly, you know, the similarity between the two, how they're the same.
Why tornadoes like the night and the sky?
Yeah, that's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Could be another thing for David again.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Any other questions about the whirlwind?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So then, after he was taken up in the whirlwind, it was Elisha's turn. All right. So with Elisha, he did some cool things. You guys always hear us talking about healing and deliverance, right? Well, not us, but shepherding them out, right? Well, there was some healing done with Elisha. Yeshua used Elisha to do some healing. So one thing he did was he parted some water. Pretty cool, right? Not healing or deliverance, but the next one is he healed some water that was bad. So they couldn't drink the water. Yeah, because it was bad. No, it's not evil. Like I think it's evil. So yeah, he healed the water so that way they could drink it. Another thing he did was there was this woman and she had a son. The son was prophesied. He grew up and he became an older person, an older gentleman, man, right? No, not Ahab. Well, we'll talk about him. We'll talk about him. But what happened was he died. He just suddenly died. He said his hip was hurting and then he died, right? So then his mother went to Elisha. Thank you. Went to Elisha, and Elisha healed him, and he woke back up. So that was a healing that was done by Elisha. Now, I want you guys to turn over to chapter 2, and we're going to pinpoint one thing before we get into the kings.
Come here.
So we're going to be in chapter 2, and we're going to read verse 23 and 24. And I want you guys to listen to what your Dawada is about to read, and then we'll talk about it.
2 Kings chapter 2, verse 23. And he went up from thence to Bethel unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. And he turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them.
All right, so the children were doing what?
Mocking.
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 Can someone give me an example of what mocking is?
That's mocking with somebody's thing. That's mocking. Copy.
Yeah, like a copy. Yeah, like you're copying someone, like a copycat. Yeah.
I'm making fun of.
Making fun of stuff.
They was making fun of his appearance because they said bald head.
Is that nice?
No.
Oh, we love that's not nice.
Not okay.
That's right, it's not okay.
Shot take that.
So then 2 she-bears came and killed 42 of them.
That's not. That's wrong.
It's a bear. So the bear killed those children. That was mocking. It was a she-bear.
It's a female bear, a woman bear.
Oh, okay.
She said what kind of bear was
Yeah.
it?
But it said it came out of the wood. What kind of bears do you usually see?
Brown bear.
Brown bear.
It could have been a brown bear or a black bear. Not white.
That's a polar bear. That's like in the Arctic, places like that. Yeah, like a brown. Think of a big brown grizzly bear.
Would that be scary if it came to try to eat you?
Yes.
Yeah, so can we say that mocking is evil, right? We have a lot of scriptures about it, so I just wanted to point that out to y'all. All right, so now we're gonna get into the kings. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. All right, so we're gonna move over to chapter 8. And while you guys are moving over to chapter 8, you guys are gonna have to have your listening ears on because we're gonna talk about kings that were evil and kings that were bad. And you guys are gonna have to let us know when we ask you questions.
I remember that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about those too. So if the person was evil, we're gonna drop one of these and then we're gonna count them at the very end, okay? You guys gotta be listening so we can make sure we don't miscount. So we'll just call them after we agree if they did evil and right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna start with the king in Judah in chapter 8. So we're gonna look at verse 17 and 18, okay? So chapter 8. Now we're gonna be asking a lot of questions. Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 17 and 18. You guys got your listening ears on?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you got them on? Double check? Okay. Anybody else got to double check your ears on? Everybody double check, make sure. You got your left ear, your right ear?
Yes.
All right. All right. Chapter 8. All right, let's Shemai.
2 Kings chapter 8, verse 17. 32 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem.
How old was he when he began to reign?
13.
No, 30.
32.
Yep, 32 years old.
How long did he reign?
I think you said it earlier. Say it again.
8.
8 years. In where?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. Verse 18. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did what?
Evil.
All right, so which one should we put in?
Evil.
All right, that's one. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at another king in Judah. So we're going to go to, yes. Oh, no, Ahab didn't marry his daughter. So with verse 18, his wife, he had a wife, and the wife was the daughter of Ahab. I'm sorry, the daughter of Ahab. Ahab had a daughter, and that was Jeroboam's wife.
Someone married Ahab's daughter.
So we're going to stay in chapter 8. We're going to read verse 26 to 27.
2 Kings chapter 8, verse 26. 22 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. How old was he?
2 and 20 years old.
Which is 22. Good.
And how long did he reign?
1.
1 year. Verse 27. And he walked in the way of the house of Ahab, and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab.
2.
What did he do?
Evil in the sight of the Lord. Evil.
we'll get some of here soon. Yeah, I hope we get some good. Yeah, too many evil. Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna move on, and we're gonna look at chapter 9. We have something in store for you guys in chapter 9 that we talked about last week. So we mentioned Ahab really quickly, right? We talked about Jezebel last week, right?
Yes.
All right. So there was this king of Israel. His name was Jehu. So Jehu, what happened with him is he actually killed. Listen, he killed the current king, which was Joram. All right, and he also killed the king of Judah, which was Ahaziah. And even though he did that, he did some other things. All right, so now what we're going to do in chapter 9, we're going to read verse 30. Who remembers what we said was going to happen to Jezebel?
She's gonna get eaten by dogs.
All right, licked up. All right, okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens to her, all right? We're going to start at verse 30, okay? So chapter 9, the 2 Kings, verse 30. Chapter 9?
2 Kings chapter 9, verse 30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face, and tied her head, and looked out at a window. What did she do?
Paint her face and tied her head and looked at the window.
All right, y'all. Good job. Y'all on it. So, yeah, so that's like makeup. She put makeup on her face. All right?
And what do we learn about makeup?
Can eat your skin? Yeah.
Wait, it's
But what else?
You said eat your skin.
If you put makeup on, it's not your real self.
That's right. It's not your real self.
Ugly and you take it all off.
Yep, take it all off.
And it's confused, so I have to have all of that on.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to skip down. We're going to read verse 32.
Verse 32.
Yeah.
Verse 32. And he lifted up his face to the window and said, Who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs.
And we're going to read.
They
were servants.
servants
To the king. They weren't allowed to marry or have children or anything. They were servants for life to the king.
All right, so we're going to read verses 33 to 37. So listen to what happens, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Verse 33. And he said, Throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trod her underfoot.
So they threw her out the window.
Is there a window? That's
All right.
foolishness.
No, it's not foolish. Just listen. Not everything is foolish. Not everything is evil. All right. She was flat. Think of an egg. If you have an egg way up here and you drop, not a cooked egg, a raw egg, and you drop it, is it going to crack? Is the yolk going to come out? Is it going to splatter all over the floor?
Yeah.
That's what happened to Jezebel. But there's more.
Verse 34. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, Go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands.
So did they find anything of her?
No, she only saw the
The skull, the feet, and the palms of her hands. The dogs are pretty busy eating her, huh? All right, let's keep on reading. Verse 36.
Verse 36. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, This is the word of the Lord which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel. So they that shall not say, this is Jezebel.
Dung is poop. Not like dung beetles.
Like actual poop.
Yeah. All right. So that's what happened with him. But with Jehu, he actually did not serve Yeshua. So he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Listen. Stop it. Stop and listen. Okay? You need to be listening, not speaking, unless you're answering a question. Okay? All right. Sorry. There's still hope. We might have some good kings, though. Okay? All right. So now, after that, we're going to move over to Joash, which is in chapter 11. Now, a quick little summary, real quick, what happened. Oh, my bad. So, there was this woman named Athaliah. She decided to kill all the sons that were the royal seed to be a king. She killed all of them. Listen.
What commandment did she break? Which says what?
Break them all. There you go. Now, with Athaliah, she was actually the daughter of Ahab and Jezebel. And we just heard what happened to Jezebel, right? Yes.
Hold on. Annalisa has a question. Let's be respectful.
How will she know how to kill? How will she know why does she want to kill?
Because she wanted to be queen. That's one reason.
So, would they
It was real dogs that killed Jezebel. Like the dogs you see outside, walking around, barking. Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, let's just say like a German Shepherd. It could have been any type of dog, though. The Bible doesn't say. You have a question? Okay. Yeah. So that's who Athaliah was. So she killed all of them, but one. There was a person, they decided to hide one of the sons, and they hid him for a couple of years, about 6 or 7 years. They hid him, okay? And during that time, she was queen. She was Ahab.
Wait.
Oh.
You just told him. Who was Athaliah?
Ahab and Jezebel's daughter.
I almost gave y'all the answer.
Yeah.
So, Athaliah, because she killed, do you think she served Yeshua?
No.
So was she good or
Bad.
good or bad?
Go ahead, say
Wait.
evil.
Or
All right. So, now let's find out who that son was that was saved. All right. You guys want to find out?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's read chapter 11. Chapter 11, and we're going to read verse 21. So chapter 11, and go to verse 21.
I was also going to find out who hit him and why they hit him.
I can tell you who hit them real quick, but we weren't going to go into it. I can tell you real quick. So if you go to chapter 11 at the beginning, we're going to read verse 1 and 2 real quick.
2 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. And when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the seed oil, but Jehoshaphat, the daughter of King Joram, sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from among the king's sons which were slain. And they hid him, even him and his nurse, in the bedchamber from Athaliah so that he was not slain.
No, not Athaliah. Athaliah wanted to kill him. Her name was Jehoshaphat. Turn around.
Jehoshaphat hid him so he wouldn't die.
So she hid him.
Athaliah was killing all the kings who were next in line so she can become queen. But they hid him so she wouldn't kill him. Jehoshaphat?
She. Yeah, she.
Yes. But she wasn't a king or a queen, so we can't put her in one of our buckets. Yeah, I see where you was going. So she was good, right?
All right. Oh,
21.
yeah. Chapter 11, verse 21.
2 Kings chapter 11, verse 21. 7 years old was Jehoash when he began to reign. How old?
7 and old.
How old?
7 years old.
So next year, do you want to run a whole kingdom?
Yes.
Not my king.
Well,
All right, so he was 7 years old. All right. So now we're going to skip over to chapter 12 and we're going to read verses 1 and 2. We're going to read more about him in chapter 12. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. I think you guys are going to like this one.
2 Kings chapter 12, verse 1. In the 7th year of Jehu, Jehoash began to reign, and 40 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Zibiah of Beersheba. And Jehoash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all his days, wherein Jehoiada the priest instructed him.
So what did he do?
Good. Yay.
Yay! He got a good one.
Yay!
All right, so now we're going to get another king. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So now we're going to go to chapter 14, and we're going to read verses 1 through 3. All right, everyone got chapter 14, verse 1? Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Second Kings chapter 14, verse 1 through 3. In the 2nd year of Joash, son of Jehoaz, king of Israel, reigned Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoadan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did according to all things as Joash his father did.
Yay.
What did he do?
That which was
Good.
All right, good.
right.
Mhm. All right, so now we're going to really quickly go back to chapter 13, and we're going to read 10 through 11.
2 Kings chapter 13, verse 10. In the 37th year of Joash, king of Judah, began Jehoash, the son of Jehoaz, to reign. Jehoahaz to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 16 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. he departed not from all the sins of verse 11. Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin, but he walked therein.
So he did what?
Evil. No.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead over to chapter 15. We're going to read verses 2 and 3. Let's see about this king.
2 Kings chapter 15, verse 2. 16 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jecoliah of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all his father Amaziah had done.
So this was King Azariah of Judah, and he did what in the sight of the Lord?
Good.
Got 3 in there.
Five evil.
All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to look at verse 8 and 9 in chapter 15. We're going to stay there. So chapter 15, verse 8 and 9.
Verse 8. In the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, did Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam, reign over Israel and Samaria 6 months. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his fathers had done. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
What did he do in the sight of the Lord?
Evil.
Yep. All right, well, listen to the next one. Maybe they'll do right, okay? All right, so we're going to stay in chapter 15. We're going to read verse 13 and 14. All right, stay in 15. 13 and 14.
All right, let me help with his names. Okay. So 2 Kings chapter 15, verse 13. Shalom, the son of Jabesh, began to reign in the 9th and 30th year of Uzziah, king of Judah, and he reigned a full month in Samaria. For Menahem, the son of Gadai, went up from Tisra and came to Samaria and smote Shalom, the son of Jabesh, in Samaria, and slew him and reigned in his stead.
So with Shalom, he did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Seven.
All right. So now let's look at chapter 15. Still, we're going to read verse 17 and 18 with Menahem. We're staying in 15.
Verse 17. In the 9th and 30th year of Azariah, king of Judah, began Menahem, the son of Gadai, to reign over Israel, and reigned 10 years in Samaria. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not all his days from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
So what did he do in the sight of the Lord?
Evil.
So I'm going to go over a few of them, and then we're going to tally them up in a bit, okay?
Yes.
All right. So we have of Israel, Pekahiah. And Pekahiah, he also did evil in the sight of the Lord. So where should we put that one?
Evil.
After Pekahiah was Pekah of Israel. And he also did evil in the sight of the Lord. So where should we put that one? Who?
Evil.
Pekah? P-E-K-A-H. And then after that, we have Jotham. Now, he was the king of Judah, and he actually did right in the sight of the Lord. So what did he do in the sight of the Lord?
Right.
So where should we put it? Good. All right. Next, we have Ahaz. He was a king of Judah, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. So where should we put it? Evil. Mhm. Now, after him, there was Hosea, king of Israel. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord. And guess what? The 10 tribes of Israel, they went into
Isaac, here, you should
captivity.
be focused.
Captivity is like slavery, bondage. They went into slavery by the Assyrian king. So they're no more. We won't hear from them for a while. We'll talk about it in a couple of weeks, though. What happened to them? They went through slavery, bondage. So you'll learn about that in a couple of weeks, okay?
Yes.
All right. So next we have Hezekiah, king of Judah. And he did that was right in the sight of the Lord.
Yes.
So we're going to put one right here. Yep. Next we have Manasseh. Now Manasseh, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did a lot of evil things, but he repented. So where do you think he should go? He did evil, but he repented.
Good.
Good. Yeah, he repented. Yeah, okay. Next we have Amnon. He was the king of Judah, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yeah. Evil, unfortunately. All right, we got a few more, and then we can tally them up, all right? Next we have Josiah. He was the king of Judah, and he did right in the sight of the Lord.
Yes.
Yes, we got a good one. Next, we have Jehoahaz. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Next, we have Jehoiakim. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord. Now we have Jehoiachin. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord. Next, we have Mattaniah, also called Zedekiah. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord. Now, after this king, now the kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom, they went into captivity also. So now all the tribes of Israel, they're in slavery, they're in bondage. And we'll learn about that in a couple of weeks, very soon. But let's go ahead and tally it up. So from last week, we had Jeroboam, and we know he did evil, so we'll put that for him for last week, for Israel. Then we had Nadab, who was the king of Israel. He also did evil. So we have that. Then we have Baasha, who did evil. We have Bala, who did evil. All these are Israel. We have Zimri, who did evil of Israel, of the kingdom of Israel, the king. We have Omri, king of Israel, who did evil. We have Ahab, who did evil. Talked about him a couple times. All right. And then we had Ahaziah from last week, who also did evil. Now, from Judah, we had Solomon's son, Rehoboam, who did evil. We had Abijam, king of Judah, who did evil. We have King Asa, who did good. All right. We have Jehoshaphat, who did good in the sight of the Lord. And then we have Jeroboam, who did evil in the sight of the Lord. So in total, including King Saul and King David and King Solomon, there were 42 kings. How many?
42.
Okay. There was 20 for the kingdom of Judah, which was the southern kingdom. And then it was 19 for the northern kingdom, for Israel. Now, let's see how many kings. Let's see how many kings of Israel did evil. I want you guys to count with me in ancient Hebrew, okay? All right. Akkad, Shemayim, Shalasha, Arabaiha, Tamasha, Shah, Shabaiha, Shemawana, Lishaiha, Ishar, Akkad Ishar, Shanayim Ishar, Shalasha Ishar, Arabaiha Ishar, Tamasha Ishar, Shishak Ishar, Shemawana Ishar, Lishaiha Ishar, Asharayam, Asharayam, Asharayam Shanayim, Asharayam Shalasha, Asharayam Arabaiha, Asharayam Tamasha, Asharayam Shishak, Asharayam Shabaiha, Asharayam Shemawana. 28. Well, it's 19 for Israel.
Well, those are all the kings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was 28 out of all the kings of Israel and Judah that were evil. Let's count how many. Good. Akkad, Shanayim, Shalasha, Arabaiha, Tamasha, Shishak, Shabaiha, Shemawana. Really, it was 8. So it was 8. Oh, I think Manasseh. So this one would be Manasseh. He did evil, but then he repented.
I got David in there.
Yeah, David, Solomon. So, yep. So, that was a lot of kings, right? Yes.
When we say the Hebrew numbers,
Interesting fact, when y'all were talking about Jezebel and what kind of dog ate her up,
Mhm.
the dogs back then were
You
called
gotta talk louder.
the dogs back then were called the Canaan dogs.
Canaan dogs.
Yeah.
dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
What kind of dog was it?
Canaan dog. They still exist today.
All right. All right, we'll answer Annalisa's question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up, okay? Yeah, I do hear some difference in it. So, like, Arabaiha, yeah, Shishak.
You could say it either way, it's still the same.
All right. So next week, we're going to learn about Ruth, okay? You know, we're going to learn about what she did. Oh, okay. All right, so thank you guys for joining us for Children in Light Bible Study. We went a little over, so we're going to go ahead and close out. Please join us at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kwam Yasha Allah.
Kwam Yasha Allah.
If you guys turn around and